Hi everybody, this is the Ninth Wave, and today I'm going to show you how to do a Sims 2 neighborhood decor mesh. I'm not going to go into detail about the actual making of the mesh or extracting a mesh from another game or anything like that. But I'm just going to show you the steps in SimPE to making a neighborhood decor. You're going to need SimPE and Milkshape, and if you plan on making your own mesh and nothing extracted from anything, you're going to need an image editor program. So anyway, go ahead and open SimPE, and at the bottom go to Object Workshop and click Start. And mine's already loaded up, but yours might take a while to load up down here. Just wait for it to finish loading. And you're going to want to go to Other, and you're going to want to go to Neighborhood, and when you're going to want to go to, I usually clone from Landmark. If you're making something else, you can clone from something else, but I usually go to Landmark, and I usually clone the water tower. It's the one I usually work with. Of course, if you want to clone from any of these other ones, you know, it's no problem. But I usually clone from the water tower pretty much always. Alright, and so click Next and set defaults over here in the orange. And click and make sure well, it's already set to clone because you can't recolor neighborhood decor. So press Start, and you can change the title if you want to. I'm actually making another water tower, so I won't be changing the title. And press Finish. Now erase where it says SimPE, erase the SimPE, and type in something unique that has to do with your object. So mine will be water tower, TS2, TNW. Now you want to make sure that these words here are not any caps locks. You should only be using lowercase letters for these for this model name. And you want to try to make it as short as possible. Okay, press Update and OK. And you're going to want to save it to your documents. EA Games, The Sims 2, Downloads, and save it as Water Tower. Press Save, and that will place it in your game. Now it's not ready yet, but it's technically placed in your game when you place it in your Downloads folder. Okay, now go to Texture Image, TXTR, in the resource tree, and go to the resource list, and go to Plugin View. And it looks like this one is the one we want to keep, so keep that Water Tower Diffuse texture. You can right click on the water tower struts and delete it. You can delete that. You can delete that. You can delete that. And you can delete the shadow. Okay, now go to the TXMT in the resource tree and the resource list. And we want to keep matte, because that's the one we just said we were going to keep. So keep water tank tall matte. And delete struts. Delete material. Delete shiny. Delete red dot. Delete shadows. and delete material 1. Okay, now go to your GMDC and in the resource list and click on your groups tab over here. And we're going to delete everything you set for the mat. So go one by one and delete everything and keep the mat. Now go to your geometric data container and go to export. And I like to keep a folder on my desktop called meshes, so you can save it there. So press save. Now open up Milkshape and go to File, Import, Wavefront Object, and import your water tower you exported from SimPE. It'll have a long string of numbers in brackets and everything. Alright, now go to your model tab and go to select and select some dots like right there and press delete on your keyboard. Now go to File, Import, Wavefront Object, and import your mesh. It could be a mesh that you extracted from a game, or The Sims 4, The Sims 3, or from something you made your own self, or from a meshing website. But anyway, go ahead and import the mesh. And we see that it's much smaller than the Sims 2 water tower. So go to Groups and select Default. This is a Sims 4 water tower that I'm doing, by the way. And go to Scale in your Tools section. And in these little boxes, type in 1.09 in all three of them. And make sure they're all selected, X, Y, and Z. And make sure Origin is selected under Scale Options. And begin to scale it upward. There's more fitting to the Sims 2 water tower. Now go to your Groups tab and delete the Sims 2 water tower, which is Water Tank Tall Mat. You can delete that. And go to File, Export, Wavefront Object, and save it over your mesh that you have already. You don't have to save it over the Sims 2 mesh. I usually don't do that. I usually save it over the one that I extracted from somewhere else. Alright, now go to Import and import your water tower. Under Action, select Replace and do Neighborhood Water Tank Tower. Okay. And then use the scroll wheel and go up and press Commit. Okay. Now go back to your texture and go to the texture that we have for the water tower and right click on it and go to Build DXT. Under Sharpen, make sure none is selected. Under Format, make sure DXT3 is selected. And browse for your texture. And right now the size is 512 by 512, but I know that this other water tower is a bigger size, so I can increase the size by putting 13 in the levels box. And press Build. And press Commit. Okay. Now go back to the GMDC. And we want to make sure everything's right, so we click Preview. You don't have to click Preview in the GMDC, but it helps to get a view of what it looks like. and just wait for it to preview. And there it is. It looks perfectly right. So now go to your neighborhood object XML and again the resource list. And where it says grid, go to that and erase maybe the last 3 or 4 last letters. I usually do 4 to make it even more unique. So erase the last 4 letters and numbers and type in a unique number like 7863 and press. This has to be something you've never used before for a neighborhood decor too, by the way. And press commit. Okay. And do file, save, and that's it. You've made a neighborhood decor for The Sims 2. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.